What's the next one?
Oh. The next herb in herbs that dispel wind dampness from the Materia Medica Chinese herbs, 3rd edition, is on page 353.
Okay.
Did we just do Shenjin Cao?
We just did what did we do?
Oh, we did Wu Jia Pi, and then
Wu
number 7 was Shenjin Cao, which we already did, and then Qin Jiao. Qin Jiao? Qin.
Qin.
Qin Jiao. 353. Here we go.
All right.
So Qin Jiao.
Qin Jiao.
The English name is large gentian root, Gentiana macrophylla root, or Chinchu. That doesn't sound very English to me.
Or what? Chinchu.
Chinchu. Chinchimini. Okay, large gentian root. So this herb is bitter, acrid, and slightly cold, entering the gallbladder.
Oh.
The liver and the stomach. This is new. Gallbladder is new for us right now.
Gallbladder, liver, and stomach.
It dispels wind dampness.
Okay, just like all of them.
Eliminates tidal fever and steaming bone disorder.
Oh, that's.
Can you tell us what tidal
fever is? Fever peaking in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? And also steaming bone disorders due to deficient heat syndrome. Heat due to deficiency, right? I think so.
I'm having a hard time remembering.
I'm not an expert.
Yet.
Dispel.
Alright, so first action of Qin Jiao. Our 8th herb. We only have 10, so. Dispel wind dampness and soothes the sinews and collaterals because it enters the liver. For wind damp, painful obstruction, and cramping, especially in the extremities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cramping in the extremities. We're talking about Jin Jiao.
Can be used for acute or chronic cold or hot disorders. Because this substance is slightly cold and most other herbs for wind dampness are warm, it is particularly suitable for hot, painful obstruction.
Okay, B syndrome.
Clears heat from deficiency.
There
and
you
you're
go.
right.
Yay.
Bone steaming. It's funny, steaming bones. It's a funny way of explaining something.
Steaming bones, like if you're cooking bone soup.
No, we're not treating your soup, though. It's like kind of steaming bones inside of your body.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about, right? The feeling of steaming bones.
It's okay.
For yin deficiency patterns that manifest with fever.
And steaming bone disorder. Steaming bone disorder, afternoon fever, and other low-grade fevers due to yin deficiency associated with the aftermath of a long-term illness, as in large gentian and soft-shelled turtle shell powder. Resolves dampness and reduces jaundice. For jaundice due to damp heat, especially in acute cases.
Check it out, jaundice. This means that we need to check the coffee maker.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something interesting.
No, I am. Okay, so resolves dampness and reduces jaundice. This is the first herb that we've come across together that dispels wind dampness, that also shares something in common. Shares jaundice, reducing jaundice in common with herbs that drain dampness. Because this is also draining damp heat.
Especially for acute cases. And
so yin shen is the principal herb in draining dampness for reducing jaundice, for treating jaundice.
Yin shen, yes.
Yin shen. And
and we're talking about Qin Jiao.
Qin Jiao, in herbs that dispel wind dampness, shares that in common.
It moistens the intestines and unblocks the bowels for dry constipation. This herb is commonly used to counteract the drying qualities of other herbs that dispel wind dampness.
With cannabis semen.
If you combine it with huo maren for constipation due to dry intestines. Yeah, with cannabis.
Is this why people
semen.
use cannabis for their stomach problems?
Do people?
I think so.
Well, cannabis is good for a lot of things, generally, so I wouldn't be surprised.
But it's illegal. Moistens the intestines and unblocks the bowel. So let's remember, Jiao is good for dispelling wind dampness and soothing the sinews. Clears heat from deficiency, steaming bones, tidal fever, afternoon fever.
Right.
We've got resolving dampness and reduces jaundice. You can compare that with yin shen. And what's another one from the draining dampness?
For jaundice?
Yeah.
Need a review.
We need to review. Oh, we'll get back to that one then. I bet I can find it.
For jaundice due to damp heat, especially in acute cases and in infants. It's good for infants, so it's safe. Does it have any toxicity? No, it doesn't even say anything about toxicity. Good. Acrid, bitter, and slightly cold. Rated neutral in some sources. Jiao enters the spleen and liver channels. Acridity disperses and bitterness drains. Jiao therefore dispels wind and drains dampness from these channels, unblocking the flow of nutrients to the sinews and muscles, and therefore eliminating painful obstruction disorder. It also treats damp heat jaundice. By eliminating yang brightness, dampness, the pathogenic heat has no material impediment to its dispersal. In this way, it halts the process that leads to steaming bones and tidal fevers. Although it is a wind-expelling herb, which are usually drying, its bitterness does not dry excessively, and its nature is relatively harmonious. This has given rise to the adage, all wind herbs are drying, but only Jiao tends to be moistening.
That is a very good point.
Highlight that. In this context, moistening really means less drying, such that when it dispels wind and dampness, it does not severely damage the yin or fluids.
That is so important.
It can therefore be used in the treatment of steaming bones, heat from consumption, heat during pregnancy, and the constrained heat involved in childhood nutritional impairment.
So this herb can be used during pregnancy, but I would once again suggest you read about toxicity, about dosage, and talk to your doctor.
Yeah, your doctor.
Or your TCM practitioner, which I hope that you're going to, because they're awesome.
LLC.
In 2 years, you can come hang out with us. We'll treat you real nice. Okay.
Next. Okay, that's cool.
There's no toxicity notes, so that's
There are some
encouraging.
contraindications. It says herbs that drain, disperse, dredge, and facilitate should not be taken when there is cold from deficiency in the lower part of the body, incontinence of urine, or loose stools.
All right, we're going on to herb number 9. We only have 2 more herbs and herbs that dispel wind dampness. So stick with us.